Welcome to episode 35 of Paul Plays in Portugal, where today we're going to be playing two matches. Firstly, we're taking on Roma in the Champions League at home, and secondly, Sporting away from home in the league. Really big game, that one. But the Roma game is make or break for us here in the Champions League. As you know, we beat Salzburg and drew against them in our two matches. It does mean we're 3 points behind Roma. If we lose today, we're out. Well, we're not going through anyway. We're out of the Champions League. There's a possibility of dropping into the Europa League as long as we stay ahead of Red Bull Salzburg, which I think we should do unless they manage to get a result against Roma and Barcelona. Because of our head-to-head record against them, we should stay ahead of them even if they manage to win one of those games miraculously. If somehow we can get a win against Roma today, there is a chance. There's a very slim chance, but there is a chance we could go through to the knockout stages. This is the team I'm going with. Ivanic, unfortunately, is out injured, so he can't play today. But it's a pretty strong lineup. I'm going with Fernando Silva at left back, the guy on loan from PSG. Tend to be favouring him at the moment over our Brazilian Luciano. We've only played one match since last episode, and we beat Chaves 4-0. Really convincing win in the fourth round of the Taça de Portugal. And Stanley had an absolute blinder. 2 goals and 2 assists from him. 2 goals from Rui Costa as well, and an assist, and Bruno Tabata with an assist. But Stanley is having the season of his life. He's our second top goal scorer this year, behind Lopez, as you can see. There's 7 goals in 5 starts and 6 sub appearances. I'm not really sure how he's doing that. To be fair, a couple of those games he's played is against weaker opposition, but still playing really, really well. 4 assists as well. I think he's got the highest average rating out of any player this season. I'm not entirely sure how he's managing it, but yeah, I'm not complaining. He's a legend in my eyes of the series, and perhaps we'll need him off the bench today. I am sticking with that trio of Nakajima, Silva and Wellington behind Lopez, despite Stanley's phenomenal game. He's a great player to bring off the bench. He can either come on as a winger for Wellington or as a striker for Lopez, or possibly even on the left-hand side. He's quite versatile, really. So Roma playing a similar looking team to, I think it might even be exactly the same team that took me on in the first game. They're playing this regen up front, Osorio, 19-year-old Colombian regen. And this chap's the danger man. He scored against me in the last match. Really good goal as well. However, we created chances. Lopez and Wellington both had chances against Roma, and we could have won that. We really could have. We were the better team, I think, overall. They didn't create any clear-cut chances. Our defence held firm, but unfortunately they scored 2 very good goals to beat us. So we're just going to play our usual style of play. We're not going to do anything defensive. We've won a corner, which Nakajima puts to the edge of the box for Lamas. And now, Silva, David Silva fires it wide. That was an opportunity, although it hasn't gone down as a chance. But still, that was a good effort from David Silva. Second highlight of the match then, Marcel picking up the ball in the midfield area, finds Nakajima, he skips past his man, really good run from its back post, Wellington, he scores! We're 1-0 up against Roma, and even he couldn't really miss from there with a header from about 2 yards out. It was all about Nakajima though, who on the whole has been a little bit disappointing this season. But this is fabulous. Look at this touch past that player. That is fantastic. His pace and power takes it around that player, and a delightful cross to Wellington to find the back of the net. And another corner. It's all been us so far. Roma haven't had a sniff. Here's Lopez winning a penalty, and I think Nakajima's our penalty taker. Wow, this is incredible. Now, if you can stick this away, then... Oh, it doesn't. It's saved. I was going to say, if he sticks it away, then we're level with them on the head-to-head basis, because they won 2-0. Of course, if we win 2-0, then it's really equal. But Nakajima, unfortunately, after an incredible assist, has a penalty saved. And that's not the first time we've had a penalty saved this season. Oh, Lopez, that is a fabulous first touch, and a wonderful save by the keeper denies him. But that was brilliant from Lopez. We, once again, could be more than 1 goal up here. We've had 3 clear-cut chances, but we've only scored 1 goal. And we might regret that. I mean, we really should have taken the penalty chance, obviously. That is the clearest of opportunities possible. Arguably Wellington's chance was easier though because it was from 2 yards out. Here come Roma, it's 1-1, although that's offside. Gustavo is offside and we're lucky there. Oh, this is close. We need to keep pushing forwards because a 1-0 win kind of isn't good enough. I know we go level with Roma, but we need to be winning against them by more than they beat us, or level. And also, remember, we've got Barcelona in the last game, so the likelihood of us actually going through, even with a win today, is unlikely, because Roma should beat Salzburg in their last game. Just going to say keep it up. Nakajima's unlucky, because it was an incredible assist, but he's let himself down with that penalty miss. Very frustrating. David Silva's quite tired. I think I might bring on the super sub already. Bruno Tabata's going to come on, hopefully cause mayhem. We're going to regret those misses. Nothing is happening in the second half. Lecomte with a goal kick. Ferreira, our Portuguese backup goalkeeper now, is a bit unhappy about his lack of first team football. I've had a couple chats with him and calmed him down a little bit. What a ball from Lopez. Wellington scores 2-0. That does count. Brilliant, brilliant finish. And it was a fabulous ball from Lopez. Look at this. We'll watch the replay. We've moved ahead of Roma, by the way, with that goal. So I don't know, maybe it's goal difference now that we're level on head-to-head, but that is incredible. Lovely, lovely goal from Portimonense. Now, can we get a third? Here's Marcel on the edge of the box. It's been all us today. Lopez scores 3-0. This is incredible. Absolutely incredible from us. It's still highly unlikely that we'll go through because remember, we've got Barcelona. I know we gave Barcelona a real game, didn't we? But we're beating Roma 3-0. Who'd have thought that? This is sensational, and they've not been in it whatsoever. They've had a goal disallowed, of course, but other than that, they've done nothing. I'm going to give Nakajima a bit of a rest at the end of this game. Nani's going to come on. 20 minutes to go. I mean, maybe I should be going a bit more defensive now and closing this game out. Now we've got the result that we need. That's probably the sensible thing to do, isn't it? But they're coming forwards, looking for a way back into this game. Are they going to get a goal here? They do. It's 3-1. I think we still stay ahead of them on the head-to-head basis. No, we don't. We dropped to third. So 2-0 was good enough to go up to second, but 3-1 isn't good enough. That doesn't really... Maybe it's goals scored now. Maybe they're no, that doesn't make sense. So we actually need to keep attacking here because a 3-1 win isn't good enough to stay ahead of Roma, which is annoying. I'm going to make one more sub and we're going to... What shall I do? Lopez has had a really good game, but we're going to throw on Stanley as the target man for the last few minutes. He's got a goal in him. We know... Well, he's got plenty of goals in him this season. We're just going to pump it up to him. Knock it over the top. Hope his legs, his strong legs, can get on the end of something. But that's a really frustrating goal to concede because Roma have done nothing in this game. We should be more than three. We should have scored more than 3 goals, remember. Here's Bruno Tabata knocking it up the pitch to Stanley. Can he work his magic? He's... No, not quite. But Lamas can play over the top for Bruno Tabata. Our super subs through. And he scores! He belts it past the goalkeeper. 4-1. Surely that's enough to stay second place. We move up to second place. Wow, what a strike. And it's great play from Lamas to find him as well. We're going defensive. We're wasting time for the last few minutes. Oh, what a performance this is. One of the best performances ever from Portimonense. This is a lovely ball through from Lamas. You found Bruno Tabata onside and it's a great finish at the end. Oh, he hits the ball cleanly, doesn't he? A minute and a half to go. Can we hang on to this 4-1 win? I feel it's harsh if they manage to get another goal here. We deserve a 5th, let's be honest. Wellington charging forwards. Can we get a 5th? Wellington's still going. He crosses it in. Stanley's there. Stanley can't quite squeeze it past the defenders, and Georgian runs after it and then plays a curious ball down the line. It didn't find anyone. And instead, now Roma can perhaps build from the back and get another consolation goal, which could be enough to move them above us again. But perhaps we will just about do enough here. Here's Stanley again, round the back. Stanley crosses it in. Wellington makes it 5. That is truly unbelievable. 5-1 against Roma. How have we done this? And Stanley with a really sensible, lovely assist as well. Unselfish play. Nani with a really good ball over the top. Stanley gets on the end of it. Thought he might go for it, but he crossed it in, and Wellington with his second header of the game. Is this our best win ever? Maybe. It really is incredible. They are looking for a second, but Palmer Brown should easily mop that up, and he does. And now we're just begging the ref to blow the whistle after this incredible. I think they're begging, Roma are begging the ref to blow the whistle as well, I think, after this carnage. There we go. A famous win for Portimonense. 16 shots to 11. They had more possession, but crucially, we created chances to galore. We could have won 8-1 today on another day. Nakajima had a penalty miss, of course. That's a long time ago in the game. And this is incredible. By the way, we keep receiving tons of money for playing in the Champions League, finances-wise. Look at this. It's shot up. January transfer window, they could give me tons of money to spend. One last hurrah for the series. You know, spend 15 million quid or something. And, oh, I forgot that Wellington actually got a hat-trick. That was his hat-trick goal. Brilliant from him. So we go into this away league match against Sporting in high spirits after that thrashing of Roma. I still can't believe it. We're currently 6 points ahead of Sporting, as you can see. They're 2 ahead of second place Benfica with this game in hand. So even if we lose this, it's not the end of the world, because we'll stay ahead of Benfica, Porto and Sporting. But a win, of course, sends us 5 points clear at the top of the table. A long way ahead of Sporting as well, who managed to win the league a couple seasons ago, of course. We've got a good record against them. We've lost 2, we've drawn 3, but importantly, we've won 4. So we do play pretty well against them. Hopefully the lads aren't too tired after that Champions League match. Sporting, I can't remember if they qualified, because the European coefficient thing changed in the summer, I forgot to mention. And the third place team of Portugal now goes into the third best place thing in the Champions League, which is what it was like a couple of years ago in Portugal in real life. But in real life last season, it changed. Only the top 2 teams qualified for the Champions League, but it's gone back to how it was previously. But I don't know if they qualified. Let's have a quick look. No, they actually dropped into the Europa League after losing their best place playoff thing against Galatasaray. So they've been playing Europa League. Hopefully that has an impact on their form, but they're doing really well. Apart from losing the cup game against a lower league opposition team, they have been winning a lot of games recently. Ivanic still hasn't recovered, unfortunately, so he's not in the team. I think we'll have to go with the same squad, the same starting 11. David Silva will give him another chance behind Lopez. It's not really worked out for him, but it's those old legs. 34 years old. He's a bit like Wayne Rooney from last year. You know, he's got that spark about him every now and then, but physically he's just not up to it. 6 acceleration, 5 pace, 4 stamina, 5 strength. It's pretty shocking, isn't it? Our team is so lethal sometimes going forwards, isn't it? When they're on their day, they're unstoppable, and that threesome of Nakajima, Lopez and Wellington in particular, if they all combine and play well, unstoppable force. But Sporting are a good team. They've got some very good players. They're playing Muto, a Japanese international, up front. He's got goals in him. I know about this Argentinian. He's pretty good. Been pretty good on the last couple games. But their best performer this year is Marcos Acuna, 29-year-old Argentinian international. Michael Bradley in midfield, and Carvalho. Still got William Carvalho. So yeah, quality team. Of course, they were champions 2 years ago. But we were champions last year. Let's get this started. The stadium size is a huge difference, isn't it, compared to us? We're playing in our little old... Basically, if you were thinking about English football, it's like a League 2 stadium size, really. If that. You know, there's National League teams with bigger stadiums than us, I think. It's ridiculous, really. Sporting is just massive. But we love it. We love our little club. Here comes Sporting, looking for an early goal. 9 minutes in. Oh, good tackle by Marcel, but they've got it back. And this is dangerous. It's a good save by Lecomte, who tips it round the post. Come on, turn on, guys. Switch on. Get it clear and counter. Acuna with the free kick. A free kick corner. It's a corner, Paul, not a free kick. Here's Lopez, all by himself, though. Can he work some magic? He can't. He's tackled. Well then, it's got a bit boring all of a sudden. Georgian's just picked up a yellow card. That was literally the only highlight of the game so far. Come on, ramp it up a bit. We beat Roma 5-1. There's nothing. There's nothing happening. All the ratings are quite poor as well from pretty much every player apart from Lecomte. What do we need to do in the second half then to get things going? I mean, a draw away from home against Sporting is a good result. I think what I will say is, what I will do is we're going to be a bit more expressive, change the width a little bit. We could always throw on Stanley up front. Michael Bradley picks up a yellow. Wellington's picked up a yellow. That's all that's happening. David Silva's run himself into the ground already. We're going to bring on Bruno Tabata. Wow, the second highlight of the game, the first of the second half in the 59th minute. But it's the Sporting, unfortunately. Wellington, what a tackle that was. Bosignolo, where are you going though? Sensible play in the end. We're playing it out from the back. Palmer Brown, the American, just thumps it up there in the end. And Lopez, all by himself, has a shot. That is a pretty pathetic effort. I mean, if that's a key highlight, we're a little bit screwed today, aren't we? However, there's a highlight straight away on the 60th minute, and Wellington does really well to take that down. Lopez, all by himself once again, has another shot, and that's a good catch by the keeper. Oh, Wellington's dead. What's happened to him? We're going to bring on Stanley on the right-hand side. We're getting highlights all of a sudden. A goal is coming at some point, I think. Now Stanley's on the pitch. Let's hope he can get a goal. Well, Wellington, of course, scored a hat-trick in the last game, but, you know, precautions. We'll take him off just in case. Palmer Brown's run. That is terrible defending. What was that, guys? That was awful. Palmer Brown was running away from Sebastian. Suddenly, all that brilliance from the last game has evaporated. And we've just done nothing today. Look at him. Where's he going? And he's just let him run past. Disgraceful defending. Wow, we're going to have to do something because it's just not happening for us today. I think we'll chuck Stanley up front, move Bruno Tabata out wide as an inside forward, and then get the fullbacks overlapping on attack, overlapping the inside forwards. That's what we'll do. And look for overlap and pump it up the pitch to Stanley. That's my go-to thing when we're struggling. But it's not been... It's more like a Benfica game, this one, isn't it? We're heading for our second league defeat of the season. It's just... We've just not been able to turn it on after that very impressive result in the last match. We've got one more sub to make. I'm going to throw on Rui Costa for Nakajima. Just one last throw of the dice. And we're going overload, taking more risks, and just hoping that we get one more highlight and one more chance and we can take it. Ah, my microphone, where's it going? Here we go, one more highlight. But is it going to be for us? Sporting in possession. We've obviously got less solidity to our tactic now with two strikers up front. But Lecomte easily catches it, and now we can perhaps build from the back or pump it up the pitch to Stanley. What's he going to do? He's obviously pumped it, and he's actually managed to find Georgian. But his ball deflects into the path of Motu, and perhaps this isn't going to be a highlight for us after all. Here they come again, holding on to possession, just killing the game off. Oh, get in their faces, guys. Win it back. Come on, Marcel. In you go. No. This is dangerous. This looks very dangerous. And that's it. It's all over. And it does allow Sporting to get back into the title fight as a result. It's still early days in the season, though. Remember, anything can happen after this point. But it is annoying today, considering how comfortable we were against Roma. Not happy with the performance that's fired them up for the next game. So we do have a couple games before the next episode. Massive fixture against Barcelona. We actually have a chance of somehow qualifying for the knockout stages. But remember, Roma do have Salzburg on the last day as well. So we could both lose. If we lose, we could still go through, as long as Roma also lose against Salzburg. So we will keep an eye on that result. If we beat Barcelona, we're through. But that's a big if, isn't it? If we beat Barcelona. I mean, surely there's no chance. But the thing in our favour is they are through and they have topped the group. So they could just put out their reserves. You know, please Barcelona, do that. That'd be lovely. Help out little Portimonense. In the meantime, I've got two games. I've got the first match of our Taça da Liga group stage thing against Lajoa, and then Moreirense, who we have struggled against in the last couple games. So please join me for episode 36 when we take on Barcelona.